today's webinar. My name is Sue from the Professional Development Committee of Hong Kong Library Association. This is the last session of our LLMS series. Getting started with n8n, create your first no-code application, which we are proud to co-organize with CTU Library. Now I'm delighted to introduce our speaker, Louis Lee, the head of Library Instruction and Reference Service in CTU Library. Now, Louis, it's over to you. Shall we start now? Thank you.
So thank you, Sue. And thank you, HALA, for offering me this opportunity to conduct this section. And like the last two sessions today, we will focus on n8n, which is a automation workflow where you can develop some application without any coding. So in case if you have any questions during the section, please feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type your question in the chat box. What we are going to do today is, we will show you the basic of n8n and also what n8n can help you to do. And we will show you the editor. So this is the core of this software where you can build up the application using some drag and drop principle to develop the application. And you no need to write any code, and you just need to build a workflow following your idea. So you don't need to type any coding. And I will show you some example of application using this n8n workflow. So we will see how the workflow can help you to streamline your work and also to streamline your project. So basically, this is what we are trying to do today. So what is n8n? Actually, it stands for node-mation. That means node automation. Okay, so it's something like the automation to develop an application to automate your workflow. So you can see on the right-hand side, so we have this workflow with different what we call the node. So each icon is a node, which each node will process a function or will process a particular application. So we will connect all these nodes together to build a workflow which automate all the process. So in the past, you may have each process doing independently, and it takes time and time consuming. And now we have the workflow to coordinate, to connect all these nodes together, all these functions together to do the whole process. So this is the idea of the n8n. So to start using n8n, there are different ways. You can use the cloud version where you can go to this link to register a trial version where you can enjoy the 14-day trial period. So what you need to do is just a browser. So you need to access n8n using the browser. So after the trial period, you can continue to use the n8n, but you have to pay. Okay, so it's up to you. For the cloud version, you don't need to install anything, but for the desktop version, you are required to install the node.js, which is a program that to run the n8n program. So you just click the link, go to the website, download the program, and install it. Just like you install the Microsoft Word, install the Microsoft Excel. It's the same. Just install the program. After you install successfully, then you can open the Windows command prompt and type these two commands. So this is to install the program n8n, and then you type n8n to run the program. Okay, so it's very simple and easy. So after you type n8n to start the program, and then you can open a browser to type this link, and then you will be able to see the interface of the n8n. Okay, so so I will show you this n8n platform later on. So we will basically use this link if you install locally. And if you want to install using the Docker, so you can also follow this step. So you have to install the Docker desktop, and then you type these two commands to run the Docker. So if you are not familiar with Docker, so just forget it. So if you know Docker, then you can follow this step to install the Docker version of the n8n. Okay, so Docker version actually is a package already packaged. The n8n program in a particular environment, and you just need to run this. You don't need to install this. You just need to run this in any platform you like. Okay, so this is the Docker version. So most likely the Docker version will be used for production. Okay, so you can deploy in any platform so easily. But anyway, today I will use the desktop version. Okay, I will use the desktop version to demonstrate the n8n to you. Okay, and this is the interface. So on the right hand side, so when you start, type the link on the browser, and you will be able to see the interface. So at the front here, you will be able to see these three links. So the first is the workflow. So this is the workflow you already developed, okay, in your n8n. So this is the workflow. And the credential is, so when you develop your workflow, so for example, you need to connect to some application, like you need to connect, for example, to Elma application, you need to provide the credential to the login. Then you have to create a credential here. Or if you connect to Google service, Google API service, then you need to create the Google credential here. So we will come across the credential later on. So how to create the credentials, okay? And the execution is showing you the error or the success message after you run the workflow. If you encounter some errors, it will show you the error in the execution panel. And you will be able to identify, to trace the error, and then to solve the error. Okay, so basically, when you open the n8n, you will be able to see these three links. Okay, if you want to start create a workflow, on the top right corner, you will be able to see create workflow. Okay, so you just click here, and then you will be able to start to create a workflow. So by default, after you click create workflow, you will be able to see something like that on the right hand side. So this is the empty space here, the canvas. We call this canvas. So this is the place where you start building your application. Okay, on the right hand side. So this is the canvas. And on the canvas here, you can see on the top here is the name of your workflow. You can define any name of your workflow, so you can change the name. So by default, there will be my workflow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. And you can rename your workflow. And this is the workflow here. And down here, where you can see the logs. So actually, this is the logs about your execution. So you will see the result of your execution here. If there is any error, you will also see the error message here. But basically, the bottom part here will show you the result after running the workflow. So we will see the log section later on. Okay. When you start building your workflow, actually, there is something you need to know. Okay, so we have many nodes here. So which we connect each of the node with the arrows. Okay, there is some purpose or some special purpose for each of the nodes, and you can see here for each node, especially the starting node, we call this trigger nodes. So the trigger node means the node trigger the whole workflow. So for example, it could be a HTML form. Okay, when you submit the form application, when you click submit, the flow will be start. So this is an example of the trigger node, a HTML form, for example. Or it could be a chatbot, okay, where you submit your prompt. It's also to trigger the workflow. Okay, so this is the first step that to trigger the workflow, we call this the trigger node. Okay. So apart from the trigger node, we have the action node here. So the action node here is you may submit some requests to a server to get some feedback. Okay, so this is one of the action that you want to do. For example, you submit an API request to Scopus to retrieve some data. Okay, so this is one of the action node that you submit the request, and then you want some data back to your local application. So this is the action node. You do some action. And then we have something called the logic nodes. So here you can see the if here. The if here means there will be two conditions. So true or false. Okay. So for example, if I ask you, you want the color, which color you want. So for example, you want the color black. Okay. If you want color black, then you go here. If this is not black, then you will go another way. So this is a condition to determine which way you go. Okay. So this is the if condition. We call this the logic node. We have something to decide which way to go. So this is the logic node. And finally, we have the so-called data node. So the data node actually like a Google Sheet here. So this is a Google Sheet, or it could be an Excel file, or it could be a Word file where to store the data. Okay, so or to manage your data. So this is what we call the data node. So basically, in the n8n, we have different nodes which fall into these four categories. Okay, so when you're building your application, you have to think when you have to use which kind of nodes. Okay, in your whole process. So we will show you later on. And after you build the workflow, so you simply click down here, execute workflow, and then the workflow will be start from beginning. For example, if this is a form, you will be able to see a form, and then you will be able to submit the form data, and the data will be passed through the workflow to the end, okay, and give you the result. So this is the how you build a workflow, and then to execute the workflow and get the result. So this is basically the interface. So when we develop the workflow, something like this on the top, we need to understand the data flow between the workflow. Okay, there is some data which pass from one node to another. So you can see, for example, if my first trigger node is a form like this one, is a survey form. Okay, when I submit my name and also the contact, and then I submit, and it will automatically show you this data. So this is the name field, and this is my name. And also there is a contact field, and this is my contact number. And this data format, we call this JSON, okay? JSON format. So for JSON format, we have the key value pairs. So this is the key, the name, and the value, Louis, is the value. So the data passed between each node will be in this format, the JSON format, okay? So when you start the form, submit the data will be converted into the JSON format like this, and then pass to the next node. When you pass to the next node, which is this one, okay, the active field nodes. So we will come across this node later on. What you need to know is when the data pass to the next node, here we have the so-called JSON, okay, because this is a JSON data. And this name refer to Louis, okay? This name here refer to the key name, and the data actually is Louis. And Louis will be changed to uppercase, okay? This is the function to uppercase. So now originally I input Louis, the title case, and then eventually when the data pass to this node, it will change to uppercase Louis, okay? So in this case, the edit field you can think of is to massage or to change your data to a particular format, okay? So this is the edit node. And also, apart from the name, I also want to pass the contact to the edit field node. So I will pass the contact here, JSON, okay? And then the contact, so this is the key. And then you will be able to see this is the data, the value where I already passed to the edit field node, the second node. So in the second node, we have these two data, which is passed from the form to this node. And the same holds true. I want to pass these two data to the next node, which is a Google Sheet. I want to save this data in the Google Sheet. For example, I have to pass these two data to the Google Sheet. Okay, the first is the name data. Okay, so now the name here will already change to uppercase, right? So because in this node we change to uppercase, and now the name here, the key, already contain Louis in uppercase. Okay, so this is the field, one of the column that I want to save in Google Sheet, and also the contact. Okay, the contact. But here you can see the contact here. I'm not refer directly from the previous node, the contact. Okay, but instead I want to refer to the contact from the first node from the form. So you can see I want the contact number, which is from the on-form submission. So which is the first node on-form submission. So this is the contact number. So I want this contact number to be saved in my Google Sheet instead of the previous one. Why I need to do this? Because sometimes the contact may be changed by someone else. You don't want it. You don't want to save this contact, for example, and you want the original one. You want the original one from the form. And that's why I want to specify the contact information, which is from the node, the first node, which is the on-form submission, which is this one, on-form submission. Okay, so these two data, which is in the final node, which is the Google Sheet, and will also be saved in the Google Sheet. So this is the flow of the n8n, and also down here, this is the data flow between the nodes. Okay, so you have to make sure that you pass the correct data, the correct information from each node, so that you can eventually get the correct data. All right. So this is the concept that you need to know, and I will show you how to run the n8n in a couple of minutes. Okay. So the first example I want to show you is the library survey. Okay, the library survey, and for example here we want to build a workflow about library survey. So what the survey actually do? So first of all, I have the form, survey form, which just two field. The one field is about the status. So whether you are UG or PG, and I want a feedback. So which is typed here. So this is a very simple form, which contains of the status and the feedback. Okay, and then I pass this form data to a LLM. So particularly the feedback. Okay, the feedback. I want the LLM to help me to classify the feedback, to classify whether the feedback is fall into either one of this category. So for example here, we have three categories: the library service and facility, the library collection, and also the library workshop training. So I want the LLM, the model, to help me to classify whether this feedback fall into one of this category. So this is one thing. And also I want the LLM to help me to decide or to determine whether this feedback is positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, so which is the sentiment analysis. So that means I want the LLM to help me to do two things. One is to categorize the feedback into one of this category, and the second one is to determine whether this feedback is positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, so this is what I want to do. And eventually, after the model classify this content, so I will extract the data. This data include the status, so which is submit from UG or PG, and also the feedback, the detail of the feedback, and the category, sentiment, and also the date submitted. And I will write this content into a Google Sheet, okay? Automatically save each submission into Google Sheet. And also you can see the Google Sheet contains of each submission, including the status, the feedback, and the category automatically classified by LLM, and the sentiment also automatically done by the LLM, and the date submit. So this is what you will be able to see in this Google Sheet form. So this is the whole idea about this survey form, the survey workflow. Okay. So this is what the workflow look like. So we will do it together. Okay, we will do it together. So this is the whole workflow. Okay, so we will do it together in a couple of minutes. So I will explain each of these notes to you, and then I'll show you the result. Okay. So when you start n8n, you can, as I mentioned, you can register for the cloud version. Okay, you can start the cloud version, or if you already install the desktop version, then you can start your command prompt. Okay, when you can start your command prompt. You can start your command prompt and then type n8n install, and then n8n to start the program, and then run the program using the browser. Okay, with this link. Okay. So let me run the program right now. I already done this, and I start the program with the web link. Okay. So let me go to here. So if you you can start just like type localhost and then the port number. Okay. So this is the port number. So, you don't need to know about the port number, so you just follow the link. Okay. So you just click, and then you will be able to see this workflow. Okay. This is the n8n interface. So as I mentioned, when you first get to this interface, you will be able to see the workflow link, the credential, and also the execution. Okay. So we will focus on the workflow first. All right. So let's see. We can start to create the workflow. Okay. We can start to create the workflow. So what we try to start is we can click the plus sign, okay, to insert the node. Okay, click the plus sign to insert the node. The first node we are going to insert is the on form submission. Okay, we first build the form so that user can submit the data. Okay, we first build the form. So let's do it together. We start a new workflow. So we click create workflow, and then we will go to the plus sign. So when you click, you will be able to see the on form submission. So you just click here on form submission, and it will show you a pop-up, okay, where you have to key in some configuration. But you can click the empty space here. You can get to the canvas. Okay, if you don't want to input some customization right now, you can get back to the canvas. So this is how you get back to the canvas. And so this is the first node. We call this the trigger node. Okay, so this is the form, and certainly we need to do some customization. Okay, so we double click this icon, and we start to put in some information here. So for the form, okay, I don't need to do any authentication. So for simplicity, I don't want any authentication. That means I don't want the user to input the login name and password. So I just select none. And for the form title, you can put in either title. Okay, so it's about your survey. So it's library survey. Okay, and the description, you can have any description of the form. So I gather some user input. So this is the idea of the form. So basically, it's an HTML form. Okay. So but you can do it in a graphical interface. Okay. You don't need to type the code. And we start to input the form element. Okay, the form element, we click add here, add form element. So the first field name we need is the name. Okay, it's the name. Okay, because we want the use. Oh, sorry, it's not the name. It's your status. Okay, it's a anonymous survey. Okay, your status. Okay, it's your status. And I want a radio button. Okay, I want the user to select their status. So I select from the element type radio. The first radio button, for example, is undergraduate. Okay, undergraduate. And I add another one. Another radio button is postgraduate. Okay, for example. So you can add more, you can add staff, you can add faculty, for example. Okay, so it's up to you. So now I have the first field is a radio button where a user can select undergraduate or postgraduate. And this is a required field. Okay, so that means the user have to select either one. Okay, and then I want to add another form element, so which is a feedback. Okay, the feedback, and this is a text area, Okay, that means it can input up to 256 character. Okay, a text area. Okay, and also this is a required field. Okay, so now I have the form. The first is the status of the user, and then we have the another field name, the feedback. Okay, the feedback. So you can just click execute if you want to execute the form, and you will be able to see the form is like this. All right. So this is the title, the description, the first option, and the feedback. And then you can click submit, and it will start to submit the data. One more thing I need to do is I have to select here option. So you can see on the top here. So this is the link, okay, to access this form. But this is so complicated. So many number, okay? I want a simple form. I want a simple URL. So I will down here to add an option, which is the form path, okay? The form path. I just add survey 2025, for example, okay? So after I put in the form path, on the top here, you will be able to see it's already there. So this is the first part is the domain, and then with the form path here. So now the link is shorter and easy to remember, right? So it's up to you. You can add the form path if you want to. So this link will be distributed. Okay, will be distributed to the others if they want to submit the survey. Okay. All right. So this is the form element that I need to do. Okay. So let me finish it. So you can click execute, and then you will be able to see the form. Okay. And we can do some testing. So for example, I'm an undergraduate, and I would like to say, so for example, the library is good. Okay. And submit. So what you will be able to see is after you submit, you will be able to see this is the output from the log, from this on submission node. This is the data output from this node. The status, the feedback, and this is automatically generated by the system. So we just ignore this here. Okay. So we will focus on these two, the status and feedback. So this is the two field that you create by yourself. Okay. And this is the data. And this data from this output node will be passed to the next node that we are going to add in this in a couple of minutes. Okay. All right. So we finished the first node. And then we will pass the data to the second node, which is a LLM model, to determine whether the feedback is it fall into one of the category, and also whether this is positive, negative, and neutral. Okay, so we would like to add a node called LLM chain. Okay, basic LLM chain. So this is a node where to connect to a LLM model, and also to guide the LLM model what to do. Okay, what to do. So by the same time, I also want to add a model, okay, which is the Azure OpenAI chat model. Okay, so this is the OpenAI chat model. Okay, I don't want to do any customization right now, but I just want to add it here and connect. So you can see from the LLM chain, you can connect to a model, and you just hit your mouse to this node, and now it's the connection. It's done. Okay. All right. So this is the first node, the form, and then connect to the LLM chain node, and the LLM chain node will guide the model what to do. Okay. And now we start to customize these two nodes. Okay. So we open this node, and by default here, you will be able to see the chart input. Okay, let me do it here. Okay, so sometimes it is not connect well. You have to connect to drag to connect it to the LLM chain node from the form submission node. Okay, and now you can see. So now by default here, for the prompt, we would like to set the user message. Okay. So what we mean here, the prompt is just like you using Copilot, you using Pro.com, you submit the prompt. Okay, you ask the LLM what to do. So this is the prompt, and we have to submit the prompt here. So you can open this here. Okay, open this here, and then by default it is the chat input. It will automatically receive the chat input from the first node. If you don't want to set any prompt, you can just leave it at the default. But if you want to customize the prompt, you have to select from the top here, define below. Okay, define below. Define below. Okay, and we want to define our prompt, so that I have to select from the top here to define below. That means the prompt here below, and I have to type my prompt here. So let's see. Let me open this window to make it bigger. So you can type your expression here. Okay. So the expression is like this. Let me put it here. I want the model, LLM model, to perform the sentiment analysis and also the test classification. Two things, if you still remember. On the following input, the feedback. Okay. The feedback is from the form. If you still remember, the feedback is from the form. So I want the feedback here. It will automatically replace with the feedback, and then to perform two analysis. So this is my prompt. Okay, this is the prompt I want the model to help me to do. So this is the first thing you need to do. And down here, you need to add another prompt, which is the system prompt. Okay, the system prompt. The system prompt is like you can ask the model to play a role. Okay, for example, you ask the model to be a librarian. You ask the model to be an expert in statistics. Okay, so you can tell the system, the model itself, which role the model would like to play by default. Okay, by default. So so this is what we call the system prompt. And the message here, we need to type in this message. So I expand here in the full window. And also I would like to put the things here, which is a very long thing. Okay, so let me copy and put it here. All right, so let me make it bigger. See if I can make it bigger. Okay, let me see. Maybe I can show you this PowerPoint, okay? Which much easier to read. So what I'm trying to put in the message box here to guide the LLM by default to play a role. So I want the LLM by default to be an expert in both sentiment analysis and text classification. And I want the LLM to do two tasks. Okay, the task one is sentiment analysis, which is to classify the feedback into positive, neutral, and negative. And the output will be a JSON contain two fields. One is the sentiment output, the sentiment, and then the value may be positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, will be automatically fill it here. And the confidence here is I want to see how confident the sentiment result will be given, will be provided by the LLM model. This is just for reference. It's not really used in the workflow. So I want to see how confident the LLM classify the feedback as positive, for example. So it could be from 0 to 1. 1 mean very confident. Okay, my classification is very confident that it could be a positive, for example. Okay, 0 mean it doesn't have any guarantee that my the LLM will be classified correctly. Okay, so this is just for our reference. So this is the first task. Another task is to categorize the feedback into either one. Okay, into either one. And also I want the result to be given me that there will be a key category, which is either one, and also a confidence value that for my own reference. Okay, so this is basically what you assign the LLM model to be. Okay, to be. So the LLM model is a expert in sentiment analysis and text classification, and basically this LLM will only do two tasks. One is sentiment analysis and category classification. Okay, so you can just, when you're doing your own practical example, you can just copy my prompt here, or you can trim down your prompt, your system message, so that will be more easy to read. Okay, but for demonstration, I just make it more details. Okay, so this is about the system prompt. So now, which is here. Okay, and this is what I want to do for this LLM chain node. Okay, so this is how I guide this model to work. Okay, so now we have to customize this model. Okay, so we have to in my last section we have already told you the how to obtain a OpenAI chat model, how to deploy a model. So you need an API key. If you haven't, or if you missed the last session, then you can go back to the last session. So we already talked about how to get the subscription of the OpenAI key or deploy the model. And if your university have subscription, you will be able to see something like that. Okay, where you have the endpoint. This is the endpoint, and also the key provided to you. Okay, so this is the key that you can use to set up the OpenAI Azure OpenAI model. Okay, but we will not go in depth here, so you can refer to the last video. Okay, All right, so you need to do some customization. So I double click this icon. And then for the first time, you have to create a new credential. And you have to put in the API key, the resource name, and the API version, and the endpoint. So these are the things that you need to provide to the customization. Okay, so if you already got the subscription, then you will be able to see these details. Okay, so maybe just give you an example. For this one, if you have a subscription from the university, so this is the endpoint. This is the model deploy, and I haven't got the version here. Let me see. Not the version here. Okay. So you may check with the university subscription about the version number. Okay, the version number. All right, but usually will be included in the link. Okay, including this link. So we'll be at the end here. Okay, all right. So we are not going in depth about how to set up this model, but if you got the information, then you can put in this information and save it, and then you will be able to connect to the OpenAI. Okay, so I already have the set up the credentials. Okay, so and then I want to deploy the model is GPT-4 mini. Okay, so this is the model I want to deploy to analyze the to do the classification. Okay, and so that is about the OpenAI. You can also include the Ollama model if you want to. Ollama model, Ollama chat model. So if you attend the first session about the deploy your model locally, and you will be able to download the Ollama model. And then what you need to do is you have to create a new credential, and what you need to do is just put this link, this URL into the base URL, and no API key is required if you're running the model locally. Okay, so you just put it here, the link, and save it, and then you will be able to find the model from the list here, which you already download, and then you can select the one you want. Okay, like Gamma 4B. Okay, so you can opt to select either one model. If you want OpenAI, then you can connect OpenAI. If you want Llama model to help you, then you can connect to Llama model. Okay, but I want to connect to OpenAI, which is faster. Okay, which is faster. Okay, I just remove it. Okay, so that's all I want to config about the model. Okay, so now we have the form. Submit the data to the model, and it will guide the model to help me to classify the feedback into different category, and also the sentiments. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is I want to prepare the column to be saved in the Google Sheet. Okay, so let me execute the workflow first and try to see what look like. Okay, for example, the library is good. Okay, just the same here. So now I would like to see the output from the LLM model. Okay, not here. Feedback. Okay, I have to connect properly. Okay, and now run the flow again. So you can see after I submit the form, it will run through this LLM model. And then from the result here, you will be able to see this feedback, the library is good, and will be classified as positive. Okay, the positive, which is from the output of the model. And the confidence is 0.9. Is very confident that the comment is positive, and will be categorized as library, service, and facility. Okay, is correct, right? The library is good in general, is about the service and facility, and also have a very high confidence. So this is the output from the LLM chain node. Okay. So now I prepare to output this to save this entry into the Google Sheet. Okay. And I want a edit node. Okay, I want an edit node. So this node will help me to extract the data I want from the result, from the output of the model, and then to include in the Google Sheet. Okay. So when I open this node, I want to add some fields that I want to include in the Google Sheet. So I click here. The first one I want to add is the status. Okay, the status, your status. Okay, so that means in the Google Sheet, I will have a column called your status, and this your status will come from not from the LLM model node, but from the form. Okay, but from the form. I want this status, so I drag it here. Okay, drag it here. So you can see your status is now add in here as one of the field, and the data and the value is from the on-form submission from the first form, and the item is and the data is your status. Okay. So as I already mentioned to you, so if you want to refer to a node which is from previous node, and you can specify the node name and then the data you want. Okay, so this is the on-form submission, and this is the your status, the data field that I want to add here. Okay. All right. And then I want to add another one. I click here, which is the feedback. Okay, the feedback. Also, this feedback will be from the form. Okay, will be from the form. I drag it here. So now we have another field, feedback, another column, feedback, and the data is from the form. And now we want to add the most important field is the category. Okay, I add another field called category, and the category is from where? From the model, from the result generated from the model, and the category will be something like this. Okay, I put it here. I expand here to show you here. Oop, okay, right. So this result, okay, so this data will be from the model, from the text generated by the model. Here is the text, and from the category. So this is the category data, and also the category value. So which is the key. Okay. So under category data, we have the category key, and the value is this one, library service and facility. So this is to represent the library service and facility, the feedback, which is passed in terms of the JSON data. Okay. And also I add another field, which is the sentiment. Okay, sentiment. And the same here, I have to put in the string. Okay. So this time we also from the text, and the sentiment is the sentiment category, and also the sentiment key. Okay, this one, which is represent positive. Okay. And I will do it this way. And also, I want to add another field that is not included in the previous note, which is the date submitted. I want to also add the date submitted. Okay, the date submitted. And this field will add a value. And the date submitted is, for example, here is the function. Okay. So the date submitted is not from other field. It's not from the previous node, which is a function which is provided by n8n. And this is the now function, which tell you the date, the time of today. This is the function, like the function in the Excel. Okay, Excel, we have the time, we have the date function. Okay, we generate the date, and we have the now here, we generate the date and time. And I want to format the day in this format. Okay, year, month, and date. And you will be able to see the result is like this. Okay, so everything seems all right, right? So we have the first field, undergraduate, the data, and then the second one is the library, and category, sentiment, and then the date. Okay, everything are all right. So this is all the field that I want to save in the Google Sheet. Okay, so I execute this to make sure that the output is look good to me. Okay, so it's all correct. Okay, so this will be the field to be in the Google Sheet. And now we have to create a Google Sheet contain of this column. Okay, all this column. So you can go to the Google Sheet, the Google Drive, and then you can click new, create Google Sheet, create a new Google Sheet, a blank spreadsheet. And then after that, you will be able to see in the survey form, you can create the survey form as a name. And then these are the fields that I would like to include in the Google Sheet, okay, which is generated from the n8n workflow. So this field actually is the field where you can see from here. Okay, so these are the field. All right, but before you can directly connect to the Google Sheet here, you have to do some setup about the Google Sheet, and this is a little bit complicated, but I already document the step in the PowerPoint later on, and I want to show you right now. Okay, so let's see if you can follow up and have an idea, at least have an idea how to set up. Okay, so I save it first. Okay, you can save the workflow first. Okay, in case your PC is gone. Okay, all right. So I have to go to set up some Google Sheet setting before I can add the note. Okay, so I go to Google Cloud Console. So this is the place where you to do the setup. Google Cloud Console. And this is the first link, Google Cloud, this thing, Google Cloud Console, okay? And you go to the Google Cloud Console and log in with your credentials. So you can log in with your Google account, okay? By default, you can log in with your Google account, or you can create a new account. So I will log in with my Google account. And after that, you will be able to see this interface. The first thing you need to do is to create a project. So you click on the top here. So whatever you show here, you click on the top to create a new project. Okay, to create a new project for Google, for this, for example, for this n8n project. So I click new project, and then you can provide a project name here. So any project name is okay. You can say n8n, maybe HKLA n8n. Okay, for example. So this is the project name, and then create. So after you create the project, you have to enable the API. Okay. So I have to select this project. Okay, this project. So this is the project I just created, And then the first thing I do is to go to Google Sheet to enable the API. So click enable. So it takes a few seconds. Okay, it's now enabled. And the second one is the Google Drive. Because Google Drive is to save your Google Sheet, so you have to enable the Google Drive API as well, and enable. So now you have already done, okay, the API enable, and there are a few more steps. Okay, so you have to go to here, and then API service, and then OAuth offense screen. Okay. So if you can't follow, it doesn't matter. So I already document the step in the PowerPoint. So you just take a look of what I'm trying to do. Okay. So you can refer to the video later on. So when I go to OAuth screen, I click Get Start, and then I need to submit the application name. I use the same. Okay. And the email is the same, my email. Okay. I need to set up an application. And then next, and I want this application to be available to all parties. So I click external. And the contact information also is my email, for example. And I agree to continue and finish to create. So I create an application so that the n8n workflow can access my Google Sheet. Okay. And then I have to go to audience and then publish this application. That means you are available to all people. Okay, it's not just for testing. It's not for a particular person that you can use it, but for all people with that can connect to my app. I publish application. And the final step I need to do is to go back to the API, create credentials, API credentials. And I need to create an OAuth client. Okay. So this is the authentication process. So when someone else wants to use n8n to access your Google Sheet, they have to authent. And this is to set up the authent details. So you have to create an authentication with the authent ID. And then the application type is a web application. You will access from the web using the web service. And I will use the default name. And then down below, you also need to provide the redirect URL. You have to add the URI. The redirect URL will be provided by here. If you add the Google Sheet, to append the row in the sheet. That means wherever there is a new row, it will append to the sheet. And the URI is here. So this is the URI when you set up the credential. So this is the URI that you have to copy. Okay, you have to copy this URI and put into the here. All right, and then create. So we did all this thing, and now we get this client ID and secret. And these two value will be used to put in the credentials here, the client ID and secret. Okay, so this is the two things that you need to put it here, and and I can copy this. Okay, copy this and put it here, the client ID and the credentials. and the secret, okay, and the secret. And so remember to, if you want to, you can download this. So I recommend you to download this because it won't be able to show you this detail to you again, okay? So you have to download this, or you can save your client ID and secret in a safe place. All right, so okay. So now I have already done the setting, and now I already put in the client ID and secret. And the last step you need to do is to sign into Google to test it, okay? And this is my email. And at once continue. And you have to enable all the surface here so that the Google Sheet can access all the surface, whatever is edit, create, or delete, and continue. And successful, okay? And now you can see the account is already created, and you can change the name of this to HKLANAN, for example. And you will be able to see now. Save it. And then the connection is already set up here, which is HKLANAN for the Google Sheet. All right, so we did a lot of things. It's just for this setup, but once you do the setup, everything will be easy later on, okay? So now we add the note Google Sheet, and also complete the credential, okay? And then we have to do another some more customization. So under the document, so now is the append operation. That means whenever they submit, a new row will be append, even though this is duplicate, will append to the next row. Okay, append into the Google Sheet. And from the document here, we select the survey form. So this is the Google Sheet, where I created. Okay, this is the Google Sheet name, which will automatically pop up here. If you set up the credential correctly, the survey Google Sheet, and then the sheet name by default will be sheet 1, okay? And after you do this setting correctly, and down here is the field where you can see from the Google Sheet, okay? Where you already created this field, okay? So what you need to do is you have to input those fields from the previous note and put it here. So let me show you here. We have to connect this to here, okay? When you open it, after you connect properly, you will be able to see this is the data from the previous field as the input node. And you can drag and drop to here, okay? Because you already create this field, you just match the proper field into this area. All right, so it's simple. You can execute this. So now from the output of the Google Sheet is now saved in the Google Sheet here. So if you check the Google Sheet, and the data is already here, okay? It's already saved. So now we go back to the workflow, and all done, okay? We have already completed this workflow, and now we try to execute the workflow and then submit another feedback and see whether the LLM, the workflow can help me to save the data into the Google Sheet. So we click execute workflow. And then you can see the form, right? So for example, I am an undergraduate, and this time I would like to say for example, the library is cold, okay? This is the feedback we always receive, right? The library is cold, and submit. So after you submit, you can see it's go through the model, and then the model will pass the data to the Google Sheet. And let's see. So now this is the data. So we collect from the form, and also already classified this is a surface and facility, but this time the sentiment is negative, right? And this is the date submit. Maybe I try another one as well. Like I execute the workflow again. So I am postgraduate, and this time I would say the library has many books on, for example, n8n. Submit. And let's see the result. So, but this time is about library collection. So it's correct, right? And neutral. So it's not about good or bad. Okay. So based on the model defined is a neutral. Okay. All right. So far so good. So this is the how we can make use of the model to develop the workflow. Okay. Very simple workflow, and then connect with the Google Sheet so that you can automatically publish the form, and then we'll save in the Google Sheet for future reference. So now I would like to show you this. So we just click execute workflow, right, to start the workflow, but this is not recommend. So when you click the form submission here, and you can click by default we'll be using the test mode. So test mode means you have to execute the workflow every time so that user can submit the form. But this is not what we want. We want the workflow to be ready on and we will be ready on the server. Okay, so everyone can submit the form anytime. So I would like to change to production URL, and you can see this is the link. Copy the link. You just click, you use the mouse click to click here. It will automatically copy the link. And then you have to enable this to activate this form. So you can just click activate on the top here to activate this form. And then when you put the link in the URL, okay, so the form is now on the web. Okay, so because I'm now in localhost, that means I am in my computer. If you install n8n on your server, then the domain will be changed to your server. Okay, and the form will be available on the web server. So this is the form, the link of the form, and you can submit any data. For example, this time, for example, I want the library to have a training session on n8n. Okay, for example, submit, and the form submit, and then you can go back to the survey, and you can see from here. So this is the feedback I submit, and already classified as a training workshop. Okay, it's a training, and neutral. Okay, again neutral. So you will be able to you collect the feedback from the user without any interaction, and you don't need to configure your form. And also you can automatically classify the feedback into different category automatically. Okay, of course you can fine tune this form to maybe the user may not be submit the feedback in one sentence, maybe several sentences. Then you have to design some logic to separate the feedback, and then to classify the feedback into different category and sentiment. All right. So this is a very basic workflow that you can use to streamline your workflow in the survey in this library survey. Okay. So basically, so I would like to see. So if you have any question about this workflow, okay. Any question you want to ask? So even though this is a very simple workflow, but for a beginner, so you need to take some time to know about how we can connect the node and also how the data is passed through the node, and then to generate what you want. Okay, and actually I have already prepared another 2 examples, but I don't think I have time to show you the example. But I would like to show you the result of the example. Okay, what use case that you can use. Okay, let me show you another example. So we will not go through the step by step, and but I already put down the step on the PowerPoint. Then you can follow. So another example is this workflow. So for this workflow, what we're trying to do is we have a form. Okay, this is a book recommendation form. Maybe I can show you this, a book recommendation form. So what I'm trying to do is there is a form that the user can submit the book recommendation, where they have the name, email, and then the book title that they want the library to buy. Okay, or some keywords that they put it here. Okay, about a particular topic. So after the form is submitted, it will pass to the Google API to collect the book data. So if they submit the book title, it will using the Google Book API to collect the book data, including the title, price, publisher, year, ISBN, etc., etc. So it will collect all this information using the Google Book API. And then the data collect will be need to split the data into individual items, because the data collect from Google API will be consolidated into a single item, and we need to separate the item into individual book item. So this is a little bit technical, but I want to show you. Okay, so you have to split the data, and then after you split the data, I don't want to save all data. I just want to extract some data only to save in the Google Sheet. Okay, so I just want the name, which is from the form, people who submit the request, and the email of the requester, and the title, price, and date submit of the book, which is from the Google Book API. So I want just this data. But in addition, I want to see whether the book price, okay, is greater than 300 or less than or equal to 300. And if this is higher than 300, so there will be a Google Sheet to save it. If there is less than 300, if the book price is less than 300, so there will be another Google Sheet to save all the book information. So there will be 2 Google Sheet eventually. So one is with the book price greater than 300. Another is the less than 300. Okay, so I will have 2 lists, and these 2 lists will be used to further processing. Okay, maybe pass to different person. Okay. All right, so I would like to show you the result. Okay, so this is the idea of the workflow, and I would like to show you the result. So this is the workflow. I submit the form, okay, and pass to Google API, and then split the data into individual item. And I want to extract only a certain field, like the book title, book price, and then the ISBN, for example, and pass to this condition node to determine whether the price is greater than 300. If this is greater than 300, and I save it in this Google Sheet. And if this is less than 300, I save it in this Google Sheet. Okay. So for this Google Sheet, you can see this is from this sheet name. Okay. Order form greater than 300. And for this one is less than 200. Okay, less than 200. This form name. So this is the 2 form that you can see. So this is the form I created greater than 300. So it's now empty. And another one less than 300. Okay, it's also empty here. So now I run the workflow, and you will be able to see there will be some books in these two Google Sheet. Okay, so let's run it. And okay, so my name is Luis, and my email and book title. Okay, and for example, I want any book on artificial intelligence. I submit. So it run through that step, and then you can see these two Google Sheet have some action here. Okay, so that means there will be some data. Save it here, and then so from the down here, you will be able to see the result. So this is the logs panel, where you can see the output. This is the output from one of the sheet, and also another sheet. Okay, so this is the place where you can see the output. And if you actually go to the Google Sheet, you will be able to see this one for greater than 300. There will be two book title, and the price is more than 300, right? Another Google Sheet also have this title, and also the book price is less than 300. Also, some book have no price. Okay, based on the Google API, which is collect from the API. Okay, so it's classified as less than 300. So now you have two sheets based on this workflow where the user submit the request, and will automatically find the book detail for you, and also the price for you, and you can have the price separate into two Google Sheet for further processing. Okay. So this is the workflow about the book recommendation. Okay. So so basically the workflow is like the working like the survey. Okay, the survey we just described before. And so if you are interested, you can follow my slide to set up this book recommendation form. Okay, for your own purpose. It's not that difficult. So but careful. Okay, you may encounter some error if you set up the flow incorrectly. Okay. All right. So one more use case I want to show you is to create a chatbot. Okay, chatbot. So I already created. But this one is a little bit complicated. So if we have time, we can arrange another advanced workshop. Okay. But I still want to show you is about this work about this chatbot. So you can create your own chatbot, or you can create a chatbot for the library. So using the n8n, very simple. And what you need to do is you set up a chat, okay, an interface, a chat interface, okay. So something like that, okay, on the right hand side, and you submit the prompt, and it will give you the result. And this chatbot is already embedded into your web page. So what actually the workflow done? So first of all, we have to set up a chat interface. So this is what we call the chat message receive interface. The first node, this is the chatbot. And the chatbot, after you submit your prompt, will pass to the AI agent. That you can think of to pass to an AI. And the AI will connect to the model, the LLM model. So your prompt will pass to the agent, and the agent will ask the model about your question, your prompt, and will return to the agent and show you on the screen. Okay, so this is the first step. Okay, first step. So by the time so the LLM model have a cutoff date of the data, right? And sometimes the result given to you is not up to date. And you might need to add something called the tool. Okay, the tool. The tool actually is you can think of it as a function, additional function. If the prompt you submit and the AI agent asks the model, and the model say they don't know, okay, they will start to call the tool that is a web searching, a Google search, for example. The tool will go to Google to search for the website and see if it can find it. Okay, if it can find it. If it can find the result, it will return to the agent and send to you, show to you. So this is the additional function called tool for the AI agent. In case the model don't know the answer, they will ask the web searching tools to search for the web, okay, and give you the answer. But even though you have this web searching agent, but sometimes the content or the information is so new, it's not available on the web yet, and you need another function called RAG. Okay, the RAG. The RAG is the additional information you can think is a information. In this case, it's not available on the web yet, but it's the information that you want to provide to the user. And this additional information will be another tool here. Okay, another tool here which provide the information to the agent so that can answer the question. Okay, so so you can see for the RAG. Okay, for the RAG, actually you can see for the diagram here. So if a user asks the prompt, they will ask the LLM first. Okay, and if the LLM cannot answer the question, they will go to the other data source, like the PDF, like the Word file you already provide with the latest information. This is the information not available on LLM or on the web, and then we'll provide to the model to generate the answer for you. And this system, okay, this system is called the RAG, okay, which provide the additional information other than the information already in the LLM. Is the additional, the most up-to-date information to support the LLM to answer your question. So this is what we call the RAG architecture. And so I would like to show you the demo. So it take about 1 or 2 minutes to show you this demo. And before I show you this demo, I want to say here is that the library will have 2 new rooms. Our library, CTU library, for example, we have 2 new rooms, which is Laboratorium C and D. And the capacity, the sitting capacity is 100 and 200 respectively. Okay. And this information is not available in the website yet. And also for sure it's not on any knowledge from the LLM. Okay. So I will show you how the workflow can grab this information, okay, from this file, the text file, which I provide to the system to grab this information. And I will show you how to do this. Okay. So first of all, I have to prepare this text file. It's very simple text file, which contains this data. And this data will be the text file will be uploaded to a database on the web, which is called the Pinecone. Okay, it's a database. You can think of it as a database that will give you the information, the latest information that you can save the information there, upload the file there, and then the model or the n8n system, the workflow will automatically grab the information from the Pinecone database. Okay, so this is the Pinecone database. Here, maybe I quickly show you. Okay, so this is the Pinecone database on the web. Okay, this is the Pinecone, and I already upload this file red here, red.txt here. Okay, and this is the content. And in my workflow here, I will connect to the Pinecone database, which is this URL, and I will grab the data from the text file, okay, automatically. All right. So so this is basically the workflow of the chatbot. Okay. So let me give you an example. Okay. Let me run the workflow by typing the data here on the bottom here. This is automatically when you add this chatbot, it will show you the chatbot down here. So you can ask the question. Okay, so what is my question? Okay, what is the seating capacity? I think. Okay. So what is the seating capacity of Laboratorium D, for example, at the CTU library? So you all know that the answer is 200. Okay, so let's see whether the LLM can give me the answer. I disable these tools and only connect to the model and run it. So you can see that the prompt is submitted to the model, and D is 66. Definitely is not correct, right? So this is what we call the illustration from the model. So the data given by the model is not correct. Okay, so so this is incorrect. We all know that. And now we try to connect to the tools. We add a tools where I allow the model to search from the web. I allow the agent to search the web in case the model, if I found the data in the model is not correct, I enable this tool to search on the web. So this is a Google search, and this is a Travily. So both are the search engine. Okay, so you can refer to my PowerPoint to set up this search engine. Okay, it's a web search engine. So now I run it again. So what is the capacity, seating capacity of D? So now you can see the tool is now first go to the model and then go to the search engine to find it. And what respond is the search did not provide specific capacity. So that means this is much better right now. The search engine cannot find this information from the web. Okay, because it's not available on the web, right? So it's much better. But we want a correct answer. We want the correct answer. So I incorporate these red tools. Okay, I also incorporate this tool here, and then I rerun it. So you will see now the model will first go to the OpenAI, and then go to the web search, and finally go to the web. Okay. So you can see it's now go to the rack. And now the capacity is, seating capacity is 200, is correct. Okay, if you go to this is the answer I provide is 200. Okay, it's correct. So you can make use of this workflow to, so you can create this workflow to set up a chatbot, okay, which provide the update information to the user. Okay, so now how can I embed this workflow into the website? Okay, so I take 1 more minute to show you, and then we can finish. So we open this customization, and then let's see, we copy this link. We copy this link. Okay, we copy this link. And then we activate this workflow. Okay, activate this workflow. And then put the link I copy into your own web page. Let me open the web page. Let's see. I haven't opened the web page here. Right. Let me see. Okay. Let me open the web page first. Okay. So it's a little bit complicated, but so you have to copy this script, okay? This script into your web page. So this is the web page of your website, and you copy this part, the script, okay? This part into your HTML page, and then you replace this link web URL, okay, with the link I just showed you. So this web URL, you replace this with this one, okay? And then everything is done. And then you can run this, and then after you put the code into your web page, which is called a chat.html. This is my web page, and then you can run this page in your server. So you will be able to see this is my web page, and down here is the chatbot. So you can click here to start the chatbot and ask questions. So I ask the same question. What is the, let me, okay, what is the sitting capacity of laboratorium D? Okay. Oh. So if your n8n is on the web, is already on your server, and then you set up this, so you will be able to get to build this chatbot, and then it will give you the result, okay, correctly. All right. So let's see. So this is the use case and example that I would like to show you today, and so I hope you can practice on your own, follow with my PowerPoint to practice on your own. And then if you have any question, then you are feel free to email me. All right. So anything you want to ask? Okay. So if you haven't got any question, then I will pass to Sue. Okay.
Thank you, Louis. And let
Uh-huh.
me share my slide. Okay. Can you see the slide? Hello, can you see that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I see we don't have questions right now. You're welcome to contact us later if you have questions. Now, I would like to thank Louis for sharing his expertise with us today. We are also grateful to our co-organizer, CTU Library, for making this webinar possible. Before we finish, please consider joining HKLA for more resources and follow us on social media. And we love, today is the last session. Okay, and also we loved love your feedback in our quick survey. And today is the last session of LLMS series. We have more great webinars coming soon. I'd love to invite you to our Hong Kong LA AGM on 12 December. We will be meeting at a new venue, CTU Beco Lounge. And we are excited to have Professor Kong Ziman sharing his insights on using digital tools to explore Hong Kong's World War II history. Don't miss it. You can find more info on HKLA Facebook. Okay, again, thanks to our speaker, Louis, and to everyone for being here today. Have a nice weekend. Happy Halloween and goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.